something else free in charge. The only way you shouldn't be making them is if they're grown and gone. They got to be both. Because I remember when my son, I've reached that wonderful time in my life when I have the best kind of children going, grown and gone. But when my son got out of Oakwood, he didn't get a job right away, and so you want to be a parent, and so. By this time he had left 3 years ago to get his own apartment, and so Mrs. Edmonds and especially me, I got used to that empty nest, and there was a big part of me that wanted to send a message to my son who hadn't gotten a job and really didn't have any place to live yet. The nest is closed, because see, nobody loves their children more than me, but. When they gone, it feels kind of good when they go. It's kind of like getting a raise when they go. My son came to me my first year when he was gone, after he graduated from school, after he graduated from Oakwood, and I was out of the tuition business. The Lord helped me to buy a car, and then on my 30th anniversary, Mrs. Edmonds and I took a cruise, paid cash, and my son came to me and said, "Dad, you got some money." I said, "No, son, I don't have you." So when I knew he didn't have anywhere to go, so I had to be a parent. It was hard. So I went to him and I said, I had a hard time even getting the words out of my mouth. I said, "Son, if you don't get a job, you can come back home." I said, "But the same rules that you left, those rules still apply." I said, "In this house, we don't stay out all night." I said, "In this house, we go to Sabbath school. In this house, we go to prayer meeting." And by the time I got through in this house, it was my son's turn to stammer. He said, "Dad?" He said, "That's all right." But I'm serious now. It makes no sense for you to have grown people living in your house, eating up your food, using your electricity, but won't follow your rules. You know how they talk? "I'm grown." Then when you can't follow my rules, when you grown, you've outgrown my house. You know how your parents used to tell you, and used to say, "I will never say certain things." And your parents just get on your nerves saying, "As long as you in this house, don't you know I pulled out that card and thrown it down many a time." But when they're grown and gone, you can't make them. But you can still bring them to God on your knees. So Jesus says,